Hello everyone, I'm Greg and welcome to our first video for Battletech in reference to gameplay. However, before we get into the gameplay, I'd like to talk a little bit about the lore, something I'm going to try to introduce every so often for Battletech because the lore is so expansive. I would like to talk a little bit about it to get some more information out there rather than solely gameplay. What I'm going to talk about first is going to be coming from the primer that came in the box score set Game of Armored Combat. And just to give you a little reference of what this universe is about. The Inner Sphere is a makeup of about 5 houses plus Comstar. So the Inner Sphere is a general term used to describe a region of space roughly 1,000 light years across, about 2,000 populated planets, and Terra, Earth, is at the center of it, where Comstar is at. Comstar only owns one world, and that's Terra, and their currency is sea bills. The ruler at the time of 3025 is Primus Julian Tiepolo, and their government is Corporate Confederacy, and their capital is Hilton Head Island, and their dominant language is English, and their religion is Word of Blake. So the Inner Sphere is made up of 5 houses. The houses are House Steiner, Merrick, Liao, Davion, and Karita. House Steiner is the Lyran Commonwealth. There's about 443 inhabited worlds at 3025 that they control. They predominantly do Christianity, Protestant, Judaism, and Islam as their religion. Languages is English and German, Scottish, Gaelic, Italian, and French. They have a constitutional monarchy, and their ruler is Archon Katrina Steiner. The House Merrick is the Free Worlds League, and they also are Christian, but the Catholic faith. Judaism, Islam, they have 333, so about 100 and so less than House Steiner. Their dominant language is also English, but goes with Spanish, Greek, Romanian, and Urdu, and their government is Parliamentary Confederacy. So you have Steiner, who's constitutional monarchy, and then Merrick, that is Parliament Confederacy. And then you have House Liao, which is the smallest of the 5, other than Comstar. And House Liao religion is Buddhism, Taoism, and Hinduism. They only have 207 inhabited worlds at 3025. And they have a dictatorship type of government. And the dominant language is English, Chinese, Russian, Hindi. And then you have House Davion, which is the Federated Sons. Their ruler is Hans Davion, and their government is constitutional aristocracy. I can't say that very well. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm horrible with vocabulary. And dominant language is English, French, and German. Dominant religion is Christianity, Catholicism, Buddhism, and Judaism. They have 509, which is the most out of the 5 inhabited worlds. Their currency is pounds, and they are considered the most powerful of the 5 overall. They have capitalism as their economy. They produce a lot of military strength and economy strength, and with that, so they put so much economy into the military. It's pretty much you're on your own for civilians. Finally, you have House Karita, which is the Draconis Combine, which is also a very powerful house. They have 412, which looks like the 3rd largest out of the 3, shy behind House Steiner, with 443. Their currency is Ryu, and dominant language is Japanese, Arabic, and English. Dominant religion is Shinto, Buddhism, and Islam. And their government is Japanese feudal stylings. So as you can tell, the different houses come from different parts of the world, and they've come together in one mass region. The house that I'm backing right now out of the 5 at this time is House Davion, the Federated Sons, because I like the military, I like the religion, I like the English, or the language, I guess. I like the capitalism. I like how in its government you have different cabinets as well. So the people have some power. At the same time, they have a righteous feeling of military, that they're going to do the right thing. It may not always be the right thing, is what I've heard about, but that's what they claim. And that's what I'm going with right now. So my question for you, for lore-wise, is what is your house that you favor and why? Okay, now that we've talked about the lore a little bit, let's get into the game of Armored Combat, Battletech. So to start things off, we need to figure out what kind of troops we're going to use, or mechs, and how we're going to go about choosing that. Usually, the amount that you want to have is a lance worth, which is roughly 4 mechs. Now we're going to go a little light on that and go 3 on each side. We're not using assault mechs, which are 80 to 100 pounds is what I believe the assault mechs are. We are using mechs below that tonnage. They're classified into 4 different kinds: light, medium, heavy, and assault. The lances on each side are going to have 1 light, 1 medium, or I'm sorry, yes, 1 light, 1 medium, and 1 heavy mech. How do you figure out what kind of tonnage they are? You have to look on the score sheet or the record sheet itself, and the tonnage is going to be right there. So this is a 25-ton mech. The Commando 2D is the model. He has 6 walking, 9 running, and the most important thing here for determining if you're able to use a mech or not is this BV value right here, battle value. So he has 541 points of battle value. You want to make it so that you and the person you're going against has an agreed amount of battle value going into the battle. So if the maximum is going to be 2,000, you can't go above 2,000 unless you're going up by a couple points. Make sure the other person knows that, and then they may need to as well. So for this combat, or for this game, the difference is going to be about 40 points difference. I don't remember what the total value is, but there's about a 40 to 50 point difference between the 2 lances. The gunnery skill and the piloting skill is something you need to figure out as well. Not so much his name as you want to, but the gunnery skill and piloting skill, we're going to start with a 3-4. Usually, on average pilots, there are 4-5, but I want to get as much action as we can in, so we're dropping 1 on each side. The gunnery skill helps with shooting enemies, while piloting skills helps control the mech that they're in. Helps with damage, not getting the mech damage as much, walking as much, and what have you. This is the heat scale. You need to be marking this every turn. This is the heat effects if you're going too hot. And then this is the critical hit tables. This tells you what this entire mech has, what the entire makeup is of this mech. On the right side of your screen here, the lance that's going to be coming out is the Commando. Something else that you may want to consider talking about, it's a little hard to see here, I got a bad shadow here, is the way the mechs are, their legs are. So I'm going to see if I can get... So if you can kind of see here, the mech, his feet are facing towards this point. And that point isn't really a good reference. So I'm going to have the front for this Commando right here where the arm is pointing and where he's looking. So that's going to be the front. With the Commando 2D is going to be a mech called the Shadowhawk. So this is the Shadowhawk. And we're going to use the 2H version of him. And he has a battle value of 1064. He has SRMs, LRMs, which is short range missile and long range missile of 2 and 5, AC5, and a medium laser. Finally, on this side, we have the Thunderbolt 5 SE. He has a 464, battle value of 1440 here. And he has a LRM 10, medium laser, and a large laser. So he can reach out pretty well here with 21 hexes away. Pretty good. On the other side, we have the Locust 1E. He has a walk of 8 and a running of 12. He's only 20 tons, so his armor over here is going to be really light. His defense is going to be running. He has a battle value of 553, slightly more than the Commando 2D, and he has a lot of lasers on him. For medium mech, we have the Wolverine 6R. He has a 585. Battle value is 1101. He has the medium laser, SRM 6, and AC 5. And we'll get more about what those mean in a little while. And finally, we have the Catapult K2. This one has 2 PPCs on it, so the managing of heat is a little difficult. The reason why is because you look under the heat column here, each one produces 10 heat, and you look at the heat sinks here, is 20. So he's going to run a little hot. He also has machine guns and 2 medium lasers. And then, whoops, I apologize for that. This is the location, so right torso, left torso, right arm, and that's the left torso as well. So, you have to be knowledgeable of your heat that you're putting out, otherwise you're going to be running hot, and you're going to be rolling piloting skill checks, which deals with your piloting skill, and seeing if things blow up or not on you, or if your mech shuts down. Something that you're going to want to have handy with you at all times is this table. We're going to be referencing this quite a bit. And also, I'm going to be referencing this quite a bit here too. I'm going to be talking about the movement, be talking about clusters, talking about line of sight of their arcs or trajectory. So this is a very helpful visual or diagram right here. When we start a game, your mechs are going to be on the edge of the game board, and they're not going to be, or they're going to be moving onto the game board from there. If a mech ever goes outside, if it ever gets pushed outside of the board, they're automatically destroyed. So you have to be careful of that. They can get pushed, shoved, and located outside, so you don't want to stand on the side of the board. And to determine who goes first, it's called initiative. So this side will roll first, and that's a 7. This side will also roll, and it's an 8. So this side wins, which means this side gets to go first, because that side gets to respond to what this side is doing. I like to personally start with heavy mechs. The reason why is because they don't have as much ability to move around and adjust. I like my light mechs to move last because they can try to flank, try to get behind mechs that have already moved. So that's just an opinion of mine. Granted, I haven't played a full true game, to be honest with you, so this is a learning experience to me, as it may be to some of you that are just getting into this game. My plan is to run this for about an hour, and wherever we get to is wherever we get to. So We're going to start with the catapult. And the catapult has 4 walking, 6 running. And he's going to go ahead and run. And he's going to run for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he ran for 6 tiles. So we look at our attack modifier table, and he ran for 6 hexes, which is a +2 modifier. In order to put that down where it's easily accessible to everyone to read it immediately and immediately understand it, take a black die. Black dies are for running. It's just kind of a universal type of knowledge, is what my understanding is from the rulebook. If you run, you grab a black die, and the modifier, you put a 2 on it. So this shows that when I'm ready to attack, I go, oh, okay, I ran. Or if I'm being attacked, the opponent knows, okay, I have to add a +2 modifier for it. 1, 2. It's now the other team's turn to go, and we'll go ahead and use the Thunderbolt, who has a 4, 6, 4. So 4 walking, 6 running, 4 jumping. Jumping, let's go ahead and try that out here. And we are going to jump for 4. So we have 1. And we're going up 1 level. Jumping disregards all terrain, but still has to obey the hex. So my understanding of this is that you still have to use 2 movement points to jump up onto this level 1 hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can land in either way, either direction, and we will go ahead and land this way right here. So he went 1, 2, 3, 3 hexes away, which is going to be a +1 modifier. However, because he jumped, it's an additional 1. So it's a 2 modifier, and for jumping, you use red. Red is for jumping. So we throw a 2 on him right there, and I like to throw him in the back. Some people like to do a back and a front, but then I get confused of which one is which because I'm new to this game, to be honest with you. It may be simple to some, it's like the front is the attacking, the back is the defending. But if I can do it in 1 die, might as well do it in 1 die instead of 2 dice. So that's my thought on it. Now we have the Wolverine here. And the Wolverine has a 5, 8, 5. And let's go ahead and walk. Or do we want to jump? Let's go ahead and jump. I think here. We'll jump right into these woods here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think we can jump into the depth 1 water hex. Let me double check that. Okay, so I'm looking at the rulebook here, and for jumping into water, it says, well, let me show it to you here as well. A mech cannot jump directly into water depth 1 or deeper, but can end its jump over such a hex. If it does so, it must make a piloting skill roll. If the piloting skill roll succeeds, the mech is placed standing at the bottom of the hex. If it fails, the mech tumbles to the bottom instead, falling a number of levels equal to the hex's depth. Have the resulting damage rounding down. So, I guess I'm a little confused here of jumping into it. It says you can't jump into it, but you can jump. You can end your jump on top of it, and then if you succeed, you're at the base of it. To be honest, this is my question of the day for games. Is in the comments below. Can you clarify that for me of what that means at the base, and you can end your jump over the hex, but you can't jump into it. So I'm a little confused on that. If someone help me out, that'd be great. So right now I'm just gonna land in the forest here. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna be a 2, a red 2 right there. Now we have the Shadow Hawk, and he has a 5.83. And let's go ahead and run him right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I believe that's all we can do because this is a level 2. He would have to spend 3 movement points, and we are already at 6. So he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to be a +1 black. Finally, we have the locust, and let's go ahead and stretch out these legs here real quick, and let's have him run for 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So I'm turning, which is another movement point. It's not, the movement points isn't just tiles, it's the amount of moves you're making with the mech. So if you're having to change direction, it's 1 movement point per change. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hexes, which is going to be a +4 modifier for him. Like I said, movement is key for light mechs. So, and then he also has a little help with woods right here just in case. And he knows that he's behind a cliff right there, and there's plenty of woods right here to block line of sight so far. So now we have the commando who has a 6 walking, 9 running. And let's go ahead and run him as well. He's a light mech, let's get him running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you enter into light woods, that is also 1 movement point. And if it's heavy woods, it's 2 movement points. If you see right here, all the different modifiers and what it costs for entering these different hexes. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to be a +2 modifier for him, black die for running. So that's all of the movement. So that is the movement phase. Usually there's also now there's a weapon declaration phase, is my understanding of it. And this is where you declare all of your units, what units are using what weapons, and who they're attacking. However, we're not going to do that right now. My goal for these first couple videos is how I would teach someone brand new to this game, and I don't want to go into the minor details of everything. The main thing is movement, how to move, what it costs, and how to attack. So that's what we're going to be doing here. The Thunderbolt has 21, and there's too many woods in between. If you have 3 points or more of woods in front of you, your line of sight is broken. Heavy woods is 2, light woods is 1, and these are all light woods, so that's 1, 2, 3 right there. So he has no line of sight to anyone, no one can see anyone. So since no one can see anyone, we're going to do another initiative phase to see who goes first. We have a 7 and an 8 yet again. So this side will go first, this side goes second. Clear the dice here real quick. Usually we would also try to figure out our heat. However, because no one attacked, everyone moved, we don't have to worry about that because everyone has at least 10 and no one used more than 10 for heat. Jumping, if jumping is an automatic 3 heat, plus any more that you go beyond 3 hexes. So if you jump 4 hexes, you would use up 4 heat. If you went 1 hex, you still use up 3 heat. So this team goes first here, and let's go ahead and use this catapult again. And we're starting to get into range. This is a level 2 hex right there. This is a level 1. So we may want to get right here for some partial cover and rain down maybe some PPCs. The problem with PPCs is that they're a direct hit. They cannot be an indirect. 4, 6. Let's go ahead and run for 6 here. I like to mark where I start as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, why do I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he only went 4 hexes. 3, 4. He ran, so that's going to be a +1 modifier. Now let's go ahead and move the Thunderbolt here. He has a 4, 6, 4. He has a lot of woods in front of him. A level 2 here, a level 1 there. He's on a level 1. And let's go ahead and jump him. I want to try to keep pushing up these mechs here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is our jumping phase. He moved 3 hexes, which is a +1, but because he jumped, it's a +2 modifier. Now we have the Wolverine. Wolverine has a 5, 8, 5, and let's go ahead and jump because I don't want to make a piloting skill roll here, and we're going to jump for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to jump right into these heavy woods here and face that way. And we spent 5. And we moved 5 hexes, so it was a +2. But because we jumped, it's a +3 modifier. So he did spend 5 heat right there, and he only has 12. So he has 7 to work with, which shouldn't be an issue because his weapons are pretty low heat. Next we have the Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk is a 5, 8, 3. And let's go ahead and run him for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he went 3 hexes and he ran, which is going to be a +1 modifier for him. And we're going to look at him to go this way and possibly go after that locust. Finally, we have the locust, and let's go ahead and have him run for 8. Now, because there's depth 1 water right there, you cannot run into water. You have to walk into water. You can run out of water from water hex immediately onto the ground hex, but you cannot run into it. So, running for 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to stay right there for 10. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes, which is going to just be a +2 for him. But he is in the woods, which will give him cover from that, and he's also partially covered. So he's still looking all right. His legs are going to be protected. Now we have the Commando. He can run for 9, and he's going to go after this locust, I think, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he can't go any further because the woods are right there. You have to spend 2, and he only has 8. So he started here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or whoops, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hexes is going to be another +2 modifier for him. Black die. So now that we've got all the running in, let's go ahead and start attacking. This side has initiative. They can attack first. This locust, let's see, does he want to attack? This is a level 2, so, and he's on a level 1. So his top side is exposed to the catapult. The meters are by depth, so if a level 1 goes up to a mech's hip, a level 2 goes to the mech's head. So that'll give you a reference of if someone is exposed or not. Let's go ahead and use the catapult here. He has a range of 18s for the PPCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He is in medium range and he's going to shoot both. So let me show you how I mark that. Right here, I just put 2 little tallies right here, and he's in medium range. So if I was doing all these different ranges, I just mark them off. That way I don't have to recalculate each time, okay, which range is this one, which range is this one. Now it should be important to know he did run, so that's a +2 heat. He's also going to be expending 20 heat, and he only has 20 heat sinks. So at the end of this round, he will have 2 left, but that's okay because there's no negative side effects for that. So since he's going to shoot his PPCs, it's medium range, is a +2 modifier for range. Short is 0, long is 4. So it's and we're going to just go ahead straight through what's called Gator, is what their acronym is gunnery skill first, which is going to be a 3. Attack movement modifier, he ran, so that's 2. So we're up to 5. Now, how far did he run? He ran another 2, so we're at 7 modifier right now. Attacker, we have nothing there, so we're good there. Heat, we're nothing bad for heat yet, so we're good on that. We're not doing a secondary target. We're not doing indirect fire, so we're still at 7. Now light woods, heavy woods, and partial cover. He is in partial cover, so that is a +1, so we're at 8. He's not in the woods, so he's at 8. And then we have range, which is medium, which is another +2, is 10. There's no woods in between, so we have 10s to hit. So we'll go ahead and roll for the first one. That's an 8, so it misses. And that also misses. So he used up both PPCs, missed on both. Now it is the other side's turn to go. And they will go ahead and they'll use the commando here. And he ran for 2, and he only has 10 heat sinks. So he has 8 to use up. But because we are so close, let's go ahead and use everything. So that's a 10 heat right there, +2, so he's going to have +2 heat at the end of the turn. That's all right. So short range missiles, 6, short range missile, 4-pack, and medium laser. And we're within 3 hexes, so everything is at short range. And we can see him because there's only 2 light woods in between. Even though he is in light woods, that does not matter. It's just what is in between. But that will affect our ability to hit him. So let's go ahead and go through Gator again. Gunnery skill is 3. And then he ran is 2, so that's 5. He ran for 2, so that's 7. We have light woods is 1 per intervening, and then 1 if he's in light woods. So that's going to be 3 more, so that's at 10. And then we're at short. So, and he is also in partial cover because he's adjacent to a level 1. So we need 11s to hit at short range. So you can see the importance of woods, cover, running, and what have you. So we need 11s to hit, and we're going to start with the short range missile, Pack 6. That's a miss. SRM-4, that's a miss. And finally we have the medium laser. Oh, it's a miss. It was that partial cover that let him not get hit there. So he misses on everything. Everything's flying, but nothing's hitting. So now it's this team's turn to go. And the Wolverine has 18 long for his AC5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So he's in range. There's a level 2 right there. Now we need to see if it goes through center of hex, and I'm going to say it barely misses. This level 2X barely misses. So we're good there. There's nothing there. So we'll go ahead and look at him here. We're using our AC5, and we're doing long range there. And there's nothing in between. I do believe the Thunderbolt is in... Oh no, he's not in any woods. So he got cut off in the front. There's 1 intervening hex. I'm going to say this woods is going to be in between. It's sticking out just enough, I think, so that's going to intervene. So let's go through Gator. Keep on hitting the tripod. I'm sorry about that. Gator here, we have base target is 3. And he jumped, so that's a +3. So we're at 6 right now. And then he is at 2, so that's 8. 8 there. 8 there. Nothing there. Nothing there. 9. And then long range is a +4. So +4 + 9 is a 13. That means that this attack is unable to fire and unable to hit. So the Thunderbolt or the Wolverine is not going to fire because it's an impossible hit. No sense in doing it. And so let's go ahead and go with the Locust then. And the Locust, he is going to, let's go ahead and fire the medium lasers. Medium laser. That's 3 heat. Let's go ahead and use the small lasers as well. He's going to fire everything. He's in short range for the mediums, and then long range for the small lasers. Small lasers, as you can tell, don't have a lot of distance to them. So let's go ahead and look at what we need for hitting him. We need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and for short range is 0, so still 9. He's not in any woods, and he's not in partial cover. So we need 9s to hit for the medium lasers, and we're going to shoot both first. That's a miss. And that's a miss. So now for the small lasers, 9 + 4, those are going to be impossible to hit, so he's not even going to shoot them off. All right, finally we have here, or I guess next we have the Shadowhawk. And the Shadowhawk he can go after the Locust. He's in his front sights. And he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hexes away. I'm going to write that down here. 8 hexes away. And so we can shoot LRM 5, SRM 2, AC 5, and the medium laser if you wanted to. I don't know if it's going to be possible to hit them though with the long range. So let's just go with the LRM 5 and the AC 5. And what we're going to need to hit here is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can't even hit him with the medium range because he is too well covered up. So the Shadowhawk cannot attack. So let's go ahead and look at the Thunderbolt here. He has the 21 and the 15. And I do believe the Wolverine is in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17. So he can shoot off the LRM 10s only. He does not get partial cover because he's not adjacent to that, but we will give him the woods right there. And to hit him, we have a gunnery skill of 3. We jumped, so that's another 3, so that's 6. 7, 8, 9. He's in heavy woods. 10, 11. And then it's distance away, he's too far away as well, so the Thunderbolt cannot hit either. So, as you can tell, people are in range, but with cover, it works out pretty well. So let's go ahead and let's go for another roll here for initiative. We have a 3 on that side, 4 on that side. So no one really wanted it that time, but we're going to stick it the same. We clear the dice here. This team moves first. And let's go ahead and have the catapult. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we do that, so I did clear off the dice. However, what I should have done though is calculate heat for those that did attack. So the commando there, he had a black 2. The Locust had a 2 there. The Wolverine had a 3. And he had a 1, I believe. Let's calculate heat real quick. So he shot both PPCs, that's 20. He ran, so that's 22. Minus 20, he's got 2 left. And then we'll wipe everything off. The Locust, he ran for 2. And then he shot 3, 6, 7, 8. So he has 8 right now. Has 10. So he drops back down to 0. So he's good as well. And the commando is the only one that attacked on the other side. He had 4, 7, 10. He ran, so that's 12. Has 10, so he will have 2 left. Now I know we've already rolled for initiative, so this team will go first. And the catapult here, or actually let's go with the Wolverine. And the Wolverine here, he is going to run for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes away. That's going to be a +2 modifier for him. So Wolverine is going to take on charge right after the Thunderbolt. Kind of a bold move, but we'll see how it goes. The Thunderbolt is going to take up that challenge with a 4-6-4, and we have a minimum distance of 6 there, so we need to stay at least 6 away from him in order to get the short distance. So what is 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if he goes no farther than that, he's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would also have a +2 modifier. So he's going to take him up on that deal because he's also going to have some cover with that hill as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's good. He's going to get a black 2 modifier. So we're going to have an interesting standoff right there. We'll see how a medium mech goes against a heavy mech. Next we have the Catapult. And the Catapult has a 4-6. We're going to walk for 4, I think, here. Actually, let's go ahead and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he only went 2 hexes. So he doesn't get a modifier for being attacked. But he has higher ground. He's on level 2 high in ground. So now he's able to also go after the Thunderbolt to help out his Wolverine. We have the Shadowhawk here with a 5-8-3. Actually, I think I'm going to use the Commando here as a 6-9 run. We're going to run for 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can go 9 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's only going to get a +1 modifier run. Right there. So now it's the Locust's turn to go. And he has an interesting situation right now. He could try to stay behind the Commando there and see if he can kick him and try to shoot him out. But the problem is that Shadowhawk is right there. He's a good distance away from the Locust to where he could move himself around the Locust. So let's go ahead and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we only went 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away. We ran. And I know I don't have any more black dice right now with me, but we'll know that he ran because he cannot jump. So that's a +1 modifier. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know. So it should be a black die. I'm just using a red right now. And now it's the Shadowhawk's turn to go with his 5-8-3, and we're going to go ahead and run. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to stop right there. So he went 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets a run as well for 2. Apologize again, I need to get more black dice. But that's a run as well. I know it's white, which would be walking. But that's what I'm going to use for now, is a run. So now this team gets to go first here. And we're going to see how this goes right here. Wolverine right after the Thunderbolt, 6 spaces away. Thunderbolt doesn't have any heat built up right now, and he's going to shoot off everything. Medium, medium, and a short for the AC5. So let's figure out what he needs here. Gunner skill of 3, and he ran, so that's 5, 6, 7, and medium range 9, nothing in between else. So he needs 9 for the medium lasers. But let's go with the AC5. So he needs 7 for the AC5. He got it. He got it. We finally have a hit. Now the AC5 deals 5 damage. As you can see right there, 5 damage. Now we need to figure out where that damage goes by looking at the hit location that's right there. So let's figure out where the 5 damage goes. It's the 5 or the 6 in the front, which is the right torso for 5. So we're going to grab the Thunderbolt's record sheet and mark off 5. Now we still have 2 more attacks, so now we need 9s, and we're going to shoot off the medium laser. That's a miss. So now we're going to shoot off the SRM-6 for 9, and that's also a miss. So he shot everything, but he finally was able to land. So the Thunderbolt doesn't really care for that too much, and he's going to start shooting off, and he's going to shoot off the large laser. He is going to shoot off, let's see here, he ran, so that's 2, he has 15 left, minus 8, he has 7 left. He's going to shoot off everything. So he is within short distance, medium distance, and medium distance. So we have 3, 4, 5. Large laser is 7. And then he ran, so that's 9s. That's what I was missing, was 9s. He needs 9s for the large laser. That's a miss. He needs 9 for the medium laser. He got it. So now we can figure out where it hits. And the 7, which is going to be the center torso, for 5 damage against the Wolverine. So I marked that off. And now we have the LRM-10s. LRM-10 means that he has a 10 missile pack. 10 missiles are going to fire all at one time, and they deal 1 damage each, but they cluster in groups of 5. And I needed 7, and I got a 6. So misses on that. And let's go ahead and calculate heat for him right there. He had 15, 17 heat total right there. And I'm going to go ahead and calculate the Wolverine. The Wolverine had 8 heat. He ran, so that's 10 heat. It's a pretty cool mech because he has 12 heat sinks overall. Now let's go ahead and go with the catapult. And the catapult here, he's going to go, he cannot shoot the commando because there's a level 2 right there. Or he's on level 2. He's on level 2. So I do believe he's on level 2. Level 2, he's far enough away to where he can hit him. Is my understanding, because he's not adjacent to and he has higher level. Let me double check that. So what my understanding is of the rule books is that he can attack, and because we're at 2 heat, we can still fire off both PPCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. we're going to go ahead and shoot off both PPCs here. And we need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 to hit, is my understanding. That's a hit. So where does the PPC hit? Holy cow, it is a critical hit, center torso. So because I rolled Snake Eyes, I get to see if I get any critical hits. So if I roll an 8 or higher, I get at least 1 critical hit on him. Rolled an 8. So since I rolled an 8, I get 1 roll that is a critical hit location. Critical hit location for the center torso is going to be here or here. And if I roll 1 or 3, 1, 2, 3, it's in this section. 4, 5, and 6, it's in this section. It's a 5, so it's going to be in this section. And it's a 2, so I'm going to hit a fusion engine. So that fusion engine has been hit. Well, disregard that. I'm looking at the catapult. I need to be looking at the commando. I apologize. So it's 2 is still a fusion hit. And I do 10 damage to him to the armor in the center. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now because I've gone through all his armor and hit his internal structure, I get to see if I do another critical hit. So I roll another 2 dice. And it's a 7, so no critical hit. I need 8 or more on that. So since I also hit a fusion engine hit is right there. Now if an engine is hit, it's automatically a +5 heat modifier for the rest of the game for him. So he's going to go up in more heat now. So he's not going to be at a 2 anymore. He's going to be at a 5 from now on. So that really hurts the commando right there. Next we have the commando. Let's go ahead and see if he can shoot anyone. He has a range of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Barely long range. And we can kind of see the death of the commando coming up. And he's at a 2 right now. At the end he's going to be getting +5. Let's go ahead and shoot everything off and see what happens here. So everything is at a 9. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. +4 is 11s. He needs 11s for everything. So the SRM6 is a miss. SRM4 is a miss. Medium laser is a miss. So everything missed. At the end of the round, he's going to add all that up, which is another 10, plus another 5 for the engine hit. So it's 15 minus 10. He's going to be at 5. So now, at 5, he has a -1 movement point, which is not good for light mechs. And let's go ahead and go with the Locust here. And he's going to go after the commando as well. And the commando, or I'm sorry, the Locust, he's going to fire off everything again. Because he's in 3 range, which is long range. And he doesn't have any heat built up right now. Now I know this is red die, but he did run. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and sorry, I'm looking at my ranges here. 6, and then for short range, for medium lasers, that's a 0. So still only needs 6s to hit. Now we need to pay attention here. He is not behind him, but he is on the left side of him. So if we do hit him, we're going to be looking at the left side tables here. So we need 6s to hit for the medium laser. That's a hit. So let's see where he gets hit. In the 8 on the left side, which is the center torso, for 5. Which is really not good because he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's another critical hit. So now we need to see if he got a critical hit on him. He does. That's an 8. So we need to figure out where at in the center torso is damaged. That's a 6. So it's going to be on this side. It's a 3. It's another engine hit. So if he gets one more engine hit, he blows up. And that's another +5 heat for him. So he's going to be at 10 now instead of 5. Worst is yet to come because the Locust gets another medium laser attack. And that hits as well because we need 6s. So let's figure out where he's hit. That's an 11. 11 is in the right leg for 5. Right leg for 5. Right there. And now we have the small lasers. They're long range, so it's a +4. We need a 6. Now we need 10s. 10s to hit. That's a miss. That's also a miss. So the Commando is not looking good at all. The heat level, we gained 8. We ran, that's 10. Right there. And that'll drop down to 0 at the end of the turn. So the Shadowhawk has yet to go here. And he's going to try to go after the Locust here. Actually, he's not going to be able to because there's too many woods in between. So he may have to go after the Mr. Wolverine here and use his LRM-5s and AC-5s. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hexes away. So we have 1 long range and 1 medium range. We're going to do the AC-5 first, which is long range. So we have, he ran. I know it's a white die, but he ran. So that's 3, 5, 6, 7, and it looks like we're going to say that's a good, but that's not. So that's a +1. So 3, 5, 7, 8. We need 12s for the long range. That's a miss. And we're going to need 10s for the medium range. That's a miss. So both missed on him. He accrued 3 heat, plus running is 5 heat overall. Like so. And I do believe everyone has attacked. So we're going to end it right there. That's about an hour's worth. What would happen next, obviously, is we calculate the heat, take the heat sinks into effect, and the Commando, if we were going, he would be at a 10. So a 10 here is a -2 movement points, +1 modifier to fire, and -1 movement point. So -3 movement points for a light mech is not good at all. He would need to try to get back into the wooded area as quickly as he could, but before he gets absolutely destroyed. That wasn't too bad of a gameplay. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could answer those questions I had about the jumping, and there was something else I was a question of, I can't remember at the time, but if you can answer those questions, those would be fantastic to help me and those that also may have those questions. Next time, we're also going to be doing roughly the same thing. We'll probably be starting a little closer because I also want to get physical combat in the mix of things. Punching, kicking, falling down, more probably in skill checks. I skip the water, but we can do that as well. Something that I don't think the commando had is if a unit takes 20 or more points of damage in a turn, they will be falling down. And when they fall down, you have to figure out which way they fell, how far did they fall, a conscious roll check to see if the mech warrior that's piloting is conscious and if they were hurt or not. So there's still a lot to go over, but I hope this is a decent start, a decent intro into how this game works. Like I said, if I was teaching somebody how to play this game, this is how I would start. It's just a big old try to rush everyone in and just try to get a lot of dice rolling. Start the gunnery skill down a little bit. Even though we still had issues trying to hit people. Oh yeah, there's my other question was he's on level 2. That's a level 2. And he's right there. Can he hit him with PPCs? That was my question. So thank you so much. If you enjoy this, I implore you to hit the like and subscription button, notification buttons, when you can find out when the next video is. Thank you so much and take care.